the 10 directions, there's 5 characters in the book, and they have 5 different perspectives on what's going on, and they can either go towards suffering or away from it. So in aggregate, that's 10 directions. And so the first character is August Bridges. He's a CEO of one of the last global corporations. So imagine a world in the future which isn't very unlike ours, where there's been a sort of reorganization about how the economy and everything works. And the corporations, the big corporations, have been given outer space because they can have, continual economic growth in outer space. There's no limits, but they find out there's quite a lot of limits. So they're a bit stuck. So at the very beginning, August is looking to try to break that impasse by having the aliens tell us how to do the Star Trek scenario. So he's put out a space telescope, and he wants to hear from the aliens about how to change that. Now, across the universe, there's an alien, Dejang, and he's watching his planet getting sucked down by this technology that they successfully built to go faster than light, but it's actually destroyed their whole planet. So he has this sort of, and I don't know, has anyone here read the first chapter? Because that's how the book starts. Yeah. It's on my website. I passed it around out there. But it basically, he has this thought, what about everyone else? And he sends out a warning, but he also tells how to build the technology. And sitting out on the space telescope is a Tibetan Buddhist monk, because they're the only people that can stand the intense isolation. And he receives the message, and he's the only one who's seen the full message because it goes back. And I have another character who's the villain, that's who Django's favorite character is, who's a corporate clone, because in the future the corporation sort of started to clone their employees. So he takes them, he has his own sort of twisted motivations. I'm going to do a reading on that, I think. And he splits up and only passes on the good news. So then the whole thing is, can Khalsang the monk come in, tell the world he needs help? There's a West Australian woman who's a scientific researcher on Mars and who is a close friend of his. So he has an ally trying to come back. And then another sort of unusual character who was totally not planned as a major character. And she's just sort of an ordinary person working in the security apparatus, and she was a secondary character, but she had such a force of personality, and she just kind of blew everything in sort of unexpected directions that she became the 5th major character, Francesca. So we've got August, Khalsang, Aurora, the scientist, Francesca, and Calvin 30, the clone. So would you guys like to hear a little bit of a reading?